listeners, and welcome back to the Skylight Books podcast series. You're in for another Better Than the Movie. This is a special December holiday edition of Better Than the Movie. Today we are just three booksellers without a talented guest, at least in studio. But we're talking about adaptations of books, and actually we're kind of concluding a trilogy of short stories we've had going. Or is it a quadrilogy? I don't know. We've been talking about short stories for a minute.
Wonder why.
And it's been great. It's really been
definitely not lazy. So.
What a relief.
But the we in question is me, your co-host, Justin Remer.
I'm Allan Traylor.
I'm Tyler Austin.
And we all work at Skylight Books in Los Angeles, California. And today we are talking about a project called The Polar Express. It was an illustrated children's book written and illustrated by Chris Van Allsburg, turned into a motion picture about 20 years after it was written by Robert Zemeckis, the director, co-writer, who co-wrote it with the guy who wrote Castaway, William Broyles Jr.?
Sure.
Sorry, I had
might as well be
correct.
Had to fish around in my brain for that, and you can really tell because did he win an Oscar for Castaway? You can really tell that there's been some high quality.
Yeah, he was coming off like a 2 for right because it was What Lies Beneath.
Oh, did he also write What Lies Beneath?
He's definitely doubling down on Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
in this movie.
Yeah, well, tripling, quadrupling,
quadrupling down.
Well, because it was like Zemeckis was coming off the huge hit of Castaway and What Lies Beneath, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think he does anything between those and this.
Just a bunch of this kind of bullshit.
Well, yeah,
then he gets on the mocap train.
Did you know this story is based on a true story? According to the flap at the back of the book, this actually happened to the author.
What I read in the flap was just that he wrote it because he didn't want to lose that magic.
And then he said, then the Polar Express pulled up at my house. And I got on.
He got on.
And I read that to mean this is a true story.
Take it literal. That's the only way. We were discussing that flap on the way down here, and I was like, oh, that to me was like a post-credit sequence. I was out of the theater by the time that happened. I did not get to that flap of the book.
It is sort of a nothing flap. It's like, I don't know, Christmas is important, and child innocence is important. We should hold on to it as long as possible. I have...
This to me, I am a man who cares about Christmas.
Well, that was the thing is like he's in the flap. He essentially says like I was real sore that I lost that childhood innocence, and so this is about like how we should never. Like we should lie to children forever. Like I don't know what he was saying.
Always get on trains. Always strange men ask you.
That is a wild moral. We'll get to it.
That line in the movie,
played to the most twinkly, beautiful, soaring music.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where the train's going, just that you get on.
It's like okay,
bad
man.
advice.
That's pretty bad advice.
Alan Silvestri's music just soaring, constantly soaring. Well, anyhow, so when this episode was planned, we were finally going to have a nice re-team with the folks who saw a Haunting in Venice with us last year, former Skylighters Natalie Freeman and Allison Woodnutt. But alas, our schedules were not meant to be. They managed to watch the film together and have provided us with many voice notes a la the Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast. That was my suggestion. We should do it that way. The thing I will say about the Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast, all those voice notes are less than a minute. We received...
Probably got a team of people editing those things.
We received 12 voice notes, many over 2 minutes. So there probably will be some editing. I will be the team of editors doing that. But sporadically throughout our discussion, we'll be unleashing Allison and Natalie's thoughts on the book and picture.
I sure hope we don't overlap. Be very awkward.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna just
actually just layer the voices.
They took all. Oh yeah,
just stereo.
I mean, there is only one take of this film, so you know, we're also going to just be.
We'll find out.
We're also just going to be repeating the same things over and over again. I'm not sure what we should like what genre we should talk about. Should we talk about kids book adaptations, Christmas stories? What like this is me being like, oh shoot, I forgot the format of our podcast.
Isn't Jumanji like kind of both? Isn't it during Christmas time?
I don't know.
The very beginning is
another
right?
Chris Van Allsburg, but I've never.
Yeah. Wait, is that another Chris Van Allsburg?
Yeah, he also wrote Jumanji and Zathura, which were also turned into films.
Yes, they were.
Zathura.
I didn't realize that, and I didn't realize that he was responsible for both of those. That makes sense.
He's the guy you call in for that.
Jumanji's just, Zathura is just Jumanji in space,
right?
And I was like, felt like that was a ripoff when I saw it the first time. I didn't realize there was any connective tissue there.
Right.
That's crazy. All right, cool.
It's the greater Van Allsburg universe,
cinematic universe,
which also maybe explains where they're like, yeah, we can like add more stuff. Like they did it for Jumanji. Like,
I mean, it's basically
they had a lot of stuff in this one.
His whole thing is just like being transported somewhere else via something, a board game or a magical train. So,
yeah,
cool. Yeah. He had that one idea and he just kept banging that drum. It's cool.
Because he never gave up of his childhood innocence.
Right, exactly.
He never got off the express.
He's so innocent. He can still hear the bell.
So haunting.
None
of my friends can hear it anymore, but I still do.
Even little Sarah.
It's like, do you not have friends anymore, or what's?
When I told them the story of going to the North Pole, they're like, "Oh, okay, maybe he's crazy," and
There's
I will
so many
no longer believe in
things. Yeah,
so sad what happened to him. Good dude.
I mean,
institutionalized.
I think we all get it metaphorically, but like when you really break it down into like details, it's like, wait. Wouldn't they have believed you when you said, hey, I met fucking Santa?
100.
Bro, I couldn't believe that he wasn't believing when he gets on the magical train.
Right, why is he not?
I was like, how is the credits not rolling, bro? It's like, boom, done.
Yeah,
magic is real.
You know, there's no train tracks.
Well, I also think it's funny. We're jumping ahead and jumping all over, but just like do you believe in ghosts? Clearly, you've been talking to a ghost for 3 minutes. It's like, and he's like, no.
Yeah.
Ghost man, I don't believe in you.
To be fair, it's not really clear what the fuck he's supposed to be.
That's a original ad. They were like, we need a ghost hobo.
We need Tom Hanks to be basically Ernest somehow.
Borgnine from...
or Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest,
I mean, he does... I mean, I meant Ernest because he looks like Ernest, but also Ernest Borgnine, yeah.
From, what is that? Emperor, that movie you told me?
The North Pole?
No.
He literally says it.
Well, yeah, no, what's that
King
movie?
of the North Pole.
He does say
of the
King, yeah. Emperor of the North Pole is a great movie.
The movie with the train and is the...
Yeah, Lee Marvin.
Yeah, Lee Marvin. Yeah. Anyways, wait, what is that movie called? Emperor of the North,
Emperor of the North or Emperor of the North Pole. It might be both.
I don't think it's the North Pole.
I think it might be both.
Is it... It can't possibly be both. The movie only has one title.
No, it has not every movie has one title, bro. They change movie titles all the time.
There's a lot of schlock movies that have been re-released with variation titles and whatnot.
I don't think that movie has more than one title. I'm pretty sure it's just...
All right, okay.
Anyways, well, no one knows what Emperor of the North is anyway.
Well,
this fight is pointless.
This sounds
great
like
movie, though.
It is a good movie, yeah.
This sounds like a perfect cue for me once again to find like a trailer drop and drop it here.
Lee Marvin is A number 1. Ernest Borgnine is Shaq. Face to face at breakneck speed in Emperor of the North.
Lee Marvin is A number 1. Ernest Borgnine is Shaq. And this is the fight of the century, clear to Portland and back. And the winner will be Emperor of the North Pole.
And now we know exactly the correct answer.
Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Someone will find it.
Yeah.
Well, other kids' book adaptations? I don't know. We got any? Harold and the Purple Crayon with a hero, Zachary Levi.
Kid in the Indian in the Cupboard?
Oh, yeah. My buddy's
yeah.
uncle shot that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
You got all the Roald Dahl books.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You know?
Yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox is a shockingly... Like I saw the Wes Anderson before, and I was like, this is so Wes Anderson. And then I like read the Roald Dahl book, and I was like, oh, he's also like 100% this book as well.
Doing that. Which is, I liked all the recent Netflix ones that he did. The Ratcatcher and...
Those shorts, yeah.
They're all great. Nice. They're all really, really great.
Interesting. Emperor of the North Pole was shortened to Emperor of the North. 1973. Look it up, bitch.
Okay, fair enough.
Look it up.
All right.
Look it up, bitch.
Okay, I guess I will.
Dare you question me? Dare you question me?
Fair enough.
I'll interrupt anything to make sure I'm correct.
Yeah, okay.
This is a real worthwhile.
Yeah, it was to me.
Again, the movie, most people
It is
don't
a great
know about.
movie, though.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Really good. It's about like being a hobo on the trains.
Yeah, kind of like in
Polar
Express.
Yeah.
Seriously, what the fuck is he, dude? He's just like he's just the embodiment of like people who stop believing and then they just become disheveled, unhappy, soulless.
I really,
like, what is he, dude?
I know, again, we're jumping ahead, but I truly was like, I feel dumb because I don't know what this is supposed to mean.
Yeah.
Like I don't get the symbolism of this at all.
Like, that's the thing. So like the Robert Zemeckis of it all is like he's like, especially up to this point, is like he's one of those screenwriters who like everything is setting up something that's going to pay off. Everything means something in a way that like resonates with something else later on. And like this is really one of his movies where there's a few of those and just a lot of stuff that just happens.
Yeah,
100%.
And also
you
things
took the words
yeah.
right out. I truly had that exact sentiment prepared in my brain.
I mean, the
like,
whole lost ticket sequence is insane.
is insane.
I was like, where is this? How long is this going to go?
It's crazy because it means nothing.
And then they do the same scene right after it.
Oh yeah, this is the guy who did fucking Back to the Future.
I know, bro.
Every little thing in that movie pays off. That movie is like clicks like a fucking beautiful watch. Like every clicking thing moves into place, and then this movie is just like,
but also like the things that do pay off like almost immediately after learning about it.
Right. It happens, and then the next scene they're like, oh, there you go.
Except for him like saying to, I guess, the girl who doesn't have a name.
Hero Girl.
Hero Girl. Yeah, it's a great name.
Excuse you.
It's totally a real, not a fake name. Is when he kept like questioning her. He's like, "Are you sure?" And then after like the second time, she's like, "Yeah, I am." Fucking asshole. Yes. What's it to you? You want to follow me or what? You almost didn't even get on the train, buddy. So don't come to me.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Also,
anyway.
was it just me or like I mean everyone's face in this movie is disturbing.
Horror show.
But like the character design on Hero Girl is the most like what happened there? Like,
I think all the kids are the only person that's lovingly animated is the conductor and the hobo. They're the only ones that are expressive because they just must be copying straight from Tom Hanks's recording booth.
I think.
But all the kids have like broad shoulders and like their limbs are way too long and they walk freakishly. It really fucked me up. I hated it.
Not good.
It's not good at all.
Then just wait till you get them elves.
well, and
Oh,
also,
you mean the 1940s gangsters, dude? The fuck are those elves?
all with like weird Jewish like
Bro,
like they're in the schmata business. Yeah, exactly. It's like,
and he's like, "You can trust me." It's like, oh
yes,
no,
100%.
dude.
That moment where you were supposed to trust the
Yeah,
elf.
but it's like, why are you saying it like that?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Okay, so we're getting way ahead.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, I'm sorry we foiled our normal introductory segment, but I think actually these voice notes are going to take up a lot of time anyway. So let's get into the voice notes that Allison and Natalie left us. So this is the first one. This is their review of the book. And this is a long boy. And we're going to probably like just pause and talk and also maybe hopefully they'll give us the framework of the book story. So unless you want to quickly run it down.
Nah, let them do it, man.
All right.
And there's not much to it, so.
Yeah, it's it's 2 sentences. I think, so.
I think we were all a little bit shocked. There was like, there are a few things that happen in the book as opposed to like one thing happens in the book.
In my memory, I was like, this is a 12-sentence long book. It's like, boy gets on train goes to North Pole, train comes back, he believes in Christmas. So I was shocked that there were like paragraphs. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay, here's the first note.
Get ready to do some editing, J-Man. We're here.
Eating soup.
We're here eating soup. We just finished reading The Polar Express by Chris Van Allsburg. We figured for this first note we would pose some questions that we have after reading the book that we hope we'll get a little clarity on once we watch the film.
Yes.
Expanded edition of this book as a film. One of our big questions, I guess we can just work backwards, is why does Sarah not get to go to the North Pole on the Polar Express?
She can hear the bell.
She can hear the bell. Based on this, I was going to say photo. Based on...
This is a real book.
This is a real book. Based on this illustration, she does not look to be that much younger than him. So... I'm not sure what the...
Santa's sexist.
Yeah, Santa's sexist, apparently.
He's a lot of things.
Sexist, but also the little girl has a name and the little boy doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So...
The little boy is all of us.
Well, he's poor. So he doesn't get a name.
No names.
Yeah, no...
How did they get
Also,
to
is
the
her
North
name
Pole
actually Hero?
So in the movie, it's Hero Girl, but they're talking about his sister.
Oh, okay.
Sarah,
okay.
It is Hero Girl in the credits. And there's also Hero Boy, who I think is the
main kid.
character.
Oh, right, is Josh Hutcherson?
Or no, his face.
The poor boy
right.
is Billy.
Billy's
poor
the
boy actually gets a name.
Yeah.
Right, he's Billy. That's right, yeah.
Which is a poor person's name.
Well, so let's dig in. Why does Sarah not go?
So
she believes already...
So that, but
I
in
don't
the
know.
book, the movie does actually come up with an explanation for that, which is that she is already in the bag for Santa and doesn't need to be convinced. But I don't think the book sets up those
Hero
stakes.
Girl, though, right?
No, it doesn't set up
No.
those stakes. Wait, what? Sorry, were you?
Hero Girl is also just
Yeah, she seems to
totally
believe in
all
Santa.
about it. She gets to go.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. Like in the movie, it's not as consistent.
Well,
I'm guessing
here's
it's like an age thing, but then Billy seems kind of young.
He also seems kind of young. I was going to say broader question.
Yeah.
Why is it that at a certain point, like, why only this? Because like at the end of the book, as we were saying, like, even Sarah can no longer hear the bell.
Yeah.
And it's like, so wait, when she had her like dark night of the Santa soul,
why
does the Polar Express not come and take her to the North Pole? Like, why is this one kid
one per family
have to go?
I like that
shouldn't
question.
every kid who's starting to not believe in Santa have the Polar Express pull up outside their house and then they go to the North Pole?
I mean,
it's like a random lottery.
Eddie
What's the
fucking
rules up
Deason
there?
gets to go.
Eddie fucking Deason,
the most
That
annoying
was
person in the world. If he gets to go,
that was a
surely
real jump
everyone
scare.
gets to go.
Fucking A, that was terrible.
I want to hold
I
your
love his
hands,
voice.
Eddie Deason.
Yeah, that's right.
I
Hey,
mean, as you know, Zemeckis
Yeah.
hangs
never
with his
forgets
boys.
a friend, you know.
Yeah. I love Eddie Deason, man.
Sure.
You can't help your voice, man. You can't.
But also, like, the thing that is funny too is that like a lot of times when they do a wide shot in the movie of the other kids, I'm just like, what is up with them? Like, there's like one is like spastic dancing in like one scene, just like I was like, is there something wrong? Like, it doesn't look like they're celebrating. It looks like something's going wrong there.
Well, they obviously got drugged up on that chocolate
that
milk.
hot-
that
hot-
one
hot-
kid passes out immediately as if he's in like a heroin den.
Hot.
Yeah, don't let it cool. Don't
Dude,
let it
the
cool.
Hot.
the weird musicals sometimes.
Yeah, there's like
them all
two
having the
musical
same
numbers,
faces
right?
as waiters too. That was
Yeah,
so
that was
freaky, man.
Which were all meant to be like look like Tom Hanks.
I don't
Well,
know.
no, the waiters don't.
They look
But-
more like
Oh, in my
Captain
mind.
Hook to me or something.
Okay,
I don't know. It was weird.
Maybe I was just seeing multiple Hankses.
He is everywhere.
We're
Hank's
still,
eye.
we're still jumping ahead. All right,
Yeah.
let's get
All
back to their book sum up. Okay, hold on.
By train? Like, are they going through Greenland? Is the Arctic connected? Shoot, I need a map.
We need a map.
This book could be improved.
Ridiculous.
I think it should include a map.
Oh, yes, 100%.
Slurping soup seems like drinking beers or
Or
something.
like a better layout of what the North Pole looks like, because right now it looks like Brooklyn.
Yeah, what's in that?
Yes.
soup?
And I take umbrage with the design of the elves.
Yeah.
This book doesn't have page numbers, but when they're introducing the elves, when they get there, they say there's like hundreds of them down on the street,
Yeah.
and it just looks like an overhead shot of The Handmaid's Tale.
Faceless mom.
Faceless mom, but all in their red robes. Spooky. And same thing when they're leaving the city.
So, like, why do you think they're allowed to go? Isn't the whole point that on that day, like the one day of the year, Santa is going to see them?
Yeah.
So why is he taking them out of bed to see him there, and then he's like, okay, bye.
And the second to last page is this nameless child waving goodbye to the train, which led me to question where his parents are. How long was the trip?
It's an all-nighter.
This train is in front of his front door. So we were also very curious about the setting of this book and story.
Where's he from?
Where are they?
Who are you?
Where are they? Also, who gets picked up first? Like, what's the route? Because they got there really quickly after picking up this child, but there were also a bunch of other children on the train. And so if they picked him up last and got there quickly, how long have the other children been gone? I'm just curious about the logic holes I'm finding.
Yeah, like the holes in his robe.
Like,
Or did he just see? My thing is,
I think they're going to get into the robe thing but it is funny to bring up so do they start West Coast and he's in
Hey man, it's a
New
magic
Jersey
train.
or
You just
something?
gotta be on board with that. It's a magic train.
There's so much, right? Exactly. It's a magic train, sort of
And
like
when
a
they get
magic
to
school bus, perhaps.
the fucking haunted elf village, it's like 5 minutes to midnight for
Right,
hours,
that's the
according
whole
to Eddie Deason.
debate,
So.
yeah. Well, I guess implying that Santa can stop time, and that's why he.
Also, though, I wonder maybe the train conductor is an independent contractor.
Oh,
maybe
okay.
he just finds it.
Think he's got 9-9.
He's got plenty of time. Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna just scoop up some kids in the middle of the night, take them down to my boy Santa's house.
Well.
Let them get some cheer or whatever.
Clearly, Santa's aware of this ritual, though, because,
because he's giving away the first gift.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, there is some sort of Shirley Jackson lottery vibes here where I was like, is the first gift the child is sacrificed to the power of
Especially
Santa?
when
That's how Christmas
they're cheering
keeps
for
going?
a man they see every day. It's like Stalin's entering town, dude. It's fucking
he's got
it's
dictator
crazy.
levels kind of thing.
They're
going,
screaming at the top of their lungs.
and they're bringing these fresh meat in.
Yeah.
It's a weird. Yeah.
Also, Billy should have been able to open the gift first.
Yeah.
He should have been like, I want Billy to
movie,
open.
Much more
because he's
deserving.
poor. He obviously has not had many Christmases.
Christmas
and that's why he
doesn't
doesn't
go
believe,
right
which is
for
a
me.
valid point.
Christmas doesn't go right for me. He said 4 times.
Yeah.
They're like, Hero Girl will convince him that we don't need to worry.
Yeah. And she's like, what if it does, though? And he's like, okay, sure.
But sorry. What were they talking about?
They're kind of meandering.
It's a lot of
kind of walking around the point.
magic train. When do they pick people up? How long are they gone for?
Oh yeah, the timing thing. Shit. No, I lost it. Fuck. Okay, maybe we'll just
All good.
Well,
I still say it's just a magic train.
There are many things about it, in terms of, there are a lot of stories that sort of play into the iconography of Santa and the pre-established rules of Santa. And I think a lot of movies do it well, where it's Elf adds things, but it's a comedy, and it's the sleigh runs on people believing in Christmas, and that all tracks whatever, yada yada. But it's based on belief, not faith, or not seeing it. Which this is sort of the complete opposite of that, which is we're going to bring a select group of children to see that Santa's real.
They're going to tell their friends.
And kind of ruin their life, actually. Yeah. But it's it's not a very international train. Santa goes all over the world. Shouldn't there be kids from all over the world on the train?
Not super diverse on that train,
Not
man.
very diverse on the train.
And let me tell you something.
A lot of white kids.
Let me tell you something. All those elves, man.
Not also very... Also, we can get into that later. Sorry, what were you going to say?
So my thought that I lost. Did either of you listen to the audiobook read by Liam Neeson or...
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that because I would have assumed... Because, I first saw Polar Express last year just for giggles and be like, is this as bad or insane as I heard it was?
It's your favorite movie, I think you said, right?
Immediately up the list.
I mean,
Move
it's fighting with
Sounds
cats.
like a tradition to me.
It's fighting with cats for my all-time favorite movie. Fuck you, The Godfather. Fuck you,
Brazil. These
Seven
types of
Samurai.
films.
You could
classic.
Trash,
bad,
garbage.
no good.
But
Hacks.
I would have assumed that the movie made up the part where Santa goes, first gift of Christmas, But that's in the book.
That's in the book.
And hearing Liam Neeson be like, first gift of Christmas, and then they put in the sound effect of the cheering elves, it does sound like a Stalin rally.
It is, dude. It's just generic dictator 101.
Yeah,
Get your
Santa
people in a fervor.
Takes his big boot off, starts pounding.
Tell
on the
them what they
table.
want, and then give that thing to them. It's all coming from you. You're the one in
Hey,
charge.
big man. He's the big man.
Yeah.
Kiss the ring as he goes down the aisle.
Exactly. Mr. C.
Mr. C.
It's a crazy, I don't know. I really just don't know. Like, it doesn't do anything in terms of, like, making the Santa myth. Like, it goes counterintuitive to a lot. Like, just on the structure of the book, where it's like, we're going to take these group of kids up there, and then they're going to, and then
and
it's
also,
like, why?
And also that they like are like, we imagine the North Pole is like a city, a village, or whatever.
Right.
Which actually, like, maybe something like the
Look like
Santa
Russia to me,
Claus
dude.
with Tim Allen is ripping that off because they're like, the North Pole isn't just like one workshop. Like, it's a city, it's a village. It's
People
whatever.
are running around. Yeah. Well, right. He like looks up the North Pole in the encyclopedia and says,
devoid of life.
pretty good.
But I
pretty
do,
funny.
Pretty good.
I do actually think it's funny in the movie, though, that clearly it's like, because they don't want to animate all those people, but they're just like, everyone is gathered in the square. That's why this is a completely barren city.
Right.
Which is genuinely unsettling. There's so much unsettling about the movie.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. We'll wrap this up. So I think they were talking about the hole in his robe, which the movie does answer, but we'll let him talk.
I don't think he would lose the bell. You know, it doesn't seem plausible. I would be like,
I agree.
death grip on
that bell. Yeah.
And I also think he was a little
child,
too
y'all.
low key about meeting Santa.
Yeah, and being that first child, he didn't gloat at all.
No. And all the kids were like, well, we'll go find it. That's not real.
No.
They would all be like, I hate your guts.
That's what you get for being chosen.
Yeah.
Damn.
Absolutely. Yeah. Unrealistic.
Also, why would Santa bring all these kids over and then be like,
Only one of you.
Yeah, only one of you get a present because it's the first present. And that's it.
And what's the point of going then? Yeah.
The hot chocolate, maybe?
On the train? Can't you have hot chocolate at home?
But is it as thick as a melted
Chocolate bar? I mean, it could be if you made it with a chocolate bar, I guess.
We have issues with this book.
Yeah, I don't know. It's, I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
So, we're going to watch the movie now. And we're going to see how that goes.
I also will say that for a movie that's like about belief and shit, and they just show it to him so they don't have to really believe, they usually make that seem like, oh, this could all be a dream, which they sort of kind of do, and then they're like, nah, it happened. It just happened.
Yeah. I mean,
And it's like, what was the point of that?
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
It feels like it should be implied, like this is all happening in his mind or whatever, but they really don't. And yeah,
Well, and also the movie does also, going back to the torn pocket thing, so it answers why he has a hole in his pocket that he loses the bell he gets from Santa as his first gift of Christmas, is that he rips it running out of the house to go see the Polar Express. So he does it right at the beginning of the movie. He rips that hole.
so they planted that.
They planted that.
Love ripping holes
Expertly.
at the beginning of movies.
But then, oddly, when he wakes up the morning after his train ride, same thing happens. So I think that's supposed to be our one moment of being like, oh, was it a dream? But then like 30 seconds later, it's like, nope, here's the bell from Santa with like him being like,
Yeah,
you
why
left
the-
this on my...
Here's a personal note from Santa Claus.
Why the fake out before immediately showing that, yeah.
Right.
It's like, are people already leaving the theater and you assume they might miss it? Like, what? Yeah, bizarre, man. Bizarre.
Yeah, it really was like, we really don't want kids to get so confused that they think it is a dream. We got to make sure they know it's real.
Yep.
But
And that you should
but
get
we
into
gotta-
strange trains
And
that
that
arrive.
vaguely hint, it could be a dream, but we're not invested in that in any way.
Which, if it's not a dream, or it's not, like, at the very least, it feels like figmenty, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
That means
I mean,
he
everyone's
was in,
Tom Hanks, you know.
Right,
that's
exactly. Yeah.
Sort
that
of a
means
big
he
thing.
was in very real danger many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the whole train is on broken ice at a
Yeah.
certain point. All
And
these
a
kids
roller coaster?
could be dead. Yeah, it is.
Well,
a roller
that was
coaster.
that was what I was saying to you, is that like I had to think. I was like, I think this was like an IMAX 3D release because like that's the only reason for like all the action.
Yeah.
Because like in the book, like it's a pretty bucolic ride through the winter, and they do see like some animals, but it's like really like. Apart from, we all got hot chocolate that tasted so chocolatey. There's not really much that happens on that train ride.
Nope.
There is a moment I
Very
think where he
somber
says
train
like
ride.
there's hills that were like roller coasters, and I think they just took that very
Ooh, action sequence.
It's basically. Which, and here's the thing, I will say, so I saw this when it came out in theaters in IMAX. Works great when you're 9.
I mean, that's the thing too. Is like I haven't rewatched it on at home, but I was thinking of like. Ready Player One. Like literally that's a movie that I was happy I saw in the movie theater. I was like, yeah, that was like a fun like thrill like literally like being on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like would I watch it at home to appreciate the story? Probably not.
I kind of like that movie.
Okay.
Well,
I can't really say no to Spielberg.
Maybe I will.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Maybe I will watch it to try to appreciate the
I think it's
story,
better
because
than the
Allan,
book, which is garbage.
Well, yeah. It'd be a low bar to have to clear that.
which Allan says. Maybe some guest will bring it in.
Yeah.
We can do it. But in that way, it's like I could see, but like watching it streaming on Hulu or like on your phone on Hulu, it's like you're not really getting the like roller coaster experience.
No, it feels like I don't know if you've ever been on the like Harry Potter ride at Universal, where like you're on a broom and then there's like they're showing you things and then like you're also moving.
Yeah.
Or it's like Soarin', California or something where it's like here's a video screen and then we're gonna slightly turn your chair. Like it cries out for like 4DX basically.
This should have been a ride at Universal.
This should just have been a ride at Universal. Would have been great.
Yeah.
Would have been great.
Probably would have made more money.
Honestly, though, those are probably the moments that work the best because there's no people on screen.
There's absolutely no reason for them, but they are fun.
The Lost Ticket is actually one of the better sequences in the movie where it like floats around. I was like, first of all, he's doing like the feather from Forrest Gump again.
Yeah,
but
again.
like a supercharge goes under the train, hits the hobo in the face, all this stuff.
Yeah.
There's like no people involved. It's like super intricate. Looks great. It's really cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it's dumb as shit.
I agree. It's one of those things that you're like, this serves no story purpose. Clearly, you're playing with toys.
Well, it introduces the hobo.
That's about it.
And I when that happened, I was like, wait, what?
There's a hobo under the train.
I was like, wait,
There's
what?
a hobo taking a little snooze.
Is he
going
going to come back? Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Which is, and let's get into it quickly. Because, all right, so there's the Lost Ticket. Insane.
Yeah.
It's all means nothing. It's just him playing in a sandbox. But then, like, the kid gets on the train and is like, your ticket's in your pocket. And he, like, pulls it out. And then the conductor's like, you lost your ticket to the girl?
Yeah.
Which is just, they're, like, going to throw her off the train.
Well,
and
Eddie
leave her?
Deason implies that.
Yeah, they're not going to, so she doesn't get sucked under the wheels.
Yeah,
But it's
it's like, cool, man.
So what are they're going to throw, which they obviously don't eventually throw her off the train, but it's like, they just abandoned this girl in Antarctica? Like, what the
it's
fuck
not
are they
really
gonna
clear
throw? I
what
guess,
they're even doing.
Not Antarctica, that's on the south, isn't it? They're in Greenland. They'll just leave her in
Turns out when
Greenland.
you don't have your ticket, they just make you
The
leader
conductor.
of the
They make you the
train.
conductor.
They
You
make
go in the
the
coal pile
Well,
and you're the
They make
conductor.
you the train engineer, apparently.
I think literally what we're supposed to take is that they're like, okay, you can come up to the front. You can't be in the cars where the people with tickets are, but you can come up to the front. And it just happened that the like two,
Conductor
hillbilly
guys were
conductors
doing
are
shit.
like busy doing stuff, and they were like, "You man this while we go do something." But then, like when she's discovered, it looks like she's like, "I'm in charge of the
They
train."
made
Yeah.
me captain of the train. Well, but it's also this thing of like they're magic tickets.
Yeah,
you
gave them
saw
to
her
them.
magically come to her, and
magically give her another one.
You didn't punch it.
Yeah.
when you came by,
Like
already.
surely the ticket, like you can only get on the train if you have a ticket, right?
It's
In some
already
fashion.
apparated
So if she's
into
on
her
the train,
pocket.
she's got a ticket somewhere, man.
Yeah,
like what are you talking about?
You looked at your fucking list and
Yeah.
came to her house and put her on the train.
You showed up at her house.
Yeah,
she
like
doesn't have a
scheduled.
ticket.
To be on schedule.
and also
What
like
is going on?
Here's the thing. So I mean, we'll probably talk more about Tom Hanks having 17 roles in this movie, but like I think he's actually like a terrible choice for the character of the conductor because he like he isn't convincing as like the
I disagree, man.
as like the bureaucrat who like is like so obsessed with tickets and like clicking them and making the holes and stuff like that, and alternatively, being the bureaucrat who's actually secretly warm and fuzzy, because you're just like, I know he's warm and fuzzy. He's Tom Hanks.
Yeah, he's immediately.
Yeah, but they make him bald, so he's humble.
The bald was quite a reveal when he takes the hat off, and I was like, whoa!
I laughed out loud when that happened. Why, man? Why?
Two of the funniest reveals.
You can't make some magic hair? What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
Two of the funniest reveals. One of them is that Tom Hanks' conductor is bald.
Yeah.
The second one,
but just on top.
The size.
He's got enough to make it look good.
Yeah, he's got the horseshoe. He's got the horseshoe.
Classic horseshoe pattern.
But the second, we'll get to the second one later. I think we'll definitely discuss the sequence in which it is. But let me see what their first note on the movie is. They did send 11 notes. The first one is fairly long, but then they get to be like 30 seconds or 20 seconds. So let's see what this first one is.
All right, we are 10 minutes and 36 seconds into this film. We have just boarded the Polar Express. And a lot of our questions have been answered in the first 10 minutes of this movie. One, we know how there's a hole in his robe because it rips.
Of course.
We are gathering that the reason he is brought onto the train and not his sister is because he is doubting the existence of Santa based on the stack of paraphernalia he pulls out of his drawer.
His research.
He's
a little researcher.
Research that he can't
compiling
even reach.
Well, but I also love that it's like Santa's on strike. Well, if Santas are on strike, he can't be. Yeah.
Also, I love when they're passing through the town and he's sinisterly looking at the robotic Santa that's malfunctioning a little bit. And he's it's like, you're on a magic train, man.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's a store. That's a store, man.
Yeah, the fact that there's a mechanical image of Santa there means therefore it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, well, then where do you think you're going? What do you think this ride is?
Idea of the trip.
Yeah,
crazy
evidence.
Yes.
His evidence that this is all a hoax. And also that he hears the bell, thinks it's Santa, but sees it in Dad's back pocket. So we're getting some questions answered. I have a new question, which is, based on what I have seen so far, I do not understand why this movie could not have been made with human people.
The train is
Truly.
too high budget. You know?
We're
going to get there.
It should have just been a subway. I'd believe.
We got a map.
We did. We got the map. We really appreciated the attention to detail regarding the logistics and details about the North Pole itself as a geographic location.
Wait. I did want to say real quick that I do think it's funny that when the Polar Express first pulls away, there's that thing where the wind pushes the snowman so it looks like its arm is waving goodbye to him. I thought that was kind of
pretty good.
That was fun.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll just quickly say they're completely right. This should have just been people. It's really fucked up. It's not actually.
Yeah.
It would have cost less money.
Yeah.
Right? This cost $180 million.
Jesus.
It really could have been.
And you can still have your animated CG train escapades.
Who cares?
Totally.
Yeah.
It could just. Anyways, yeah.
Oh, this is our other hang up here. We're 10 minutes into the movie. We get a shot of the clock as he wakes up.
5 minutes.
There are 5 minutes left until Christmas morning. And you're telling me that we're supposed to believe that 5 minutes is equal to the next hour and 35 minutes.
The train has to move at the speed of light.
I mean, we're in the future, so we know that the rest of the movie is at 5 minutes to midnight for the duration. Anyhow.
It must.
And if it did, then how would he be able to see those wolves?
How did he jump on?
How did he jump on if it's moving that fast?
How do these children know a song?
They all know the same song.
How long have they been on that train?
How long have they been on the train? Also, what year is it?
Because the mom's outfit was...
Mom's outfit,
crazy.
also, the radiator and the baseball like paraphernalia. It felt older than 2004
But, like-
when this was made. The book was written in 1985.
But it's like, if it's like the 80s looking back at the 40s.
Yes.
They're trying to do like a retro timelessness. Of
They're also
Christmas.
living in like row houses, and I don't understand why the train is going through just like the middle of their street.
Magic.
You know?
It probably mowed down so much wildlife.
Why are they doing all of
That's why the wolves were mad.
on Santa's busiest day?
It could happen any other time.
Yeah.
So some questions answered, many more questions raised. We will check back in
Yes. See you soon.
momentarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I also thought it felt like a sort of timeless Americana age.
I mean,
kind
yeah,
of
that's
thing.
in
like,
a
kind
way
of like
that's
Stephen King shit, and
that's kind of the baby boomer bread and butter.
that's how come there's no black people. So it's just the one hero girl. She's a leader though, so I
She is
guess
a leader,
I
yeah.
guess I got to be thankful for the leader.
Lead, like a lead balloon.
Yeah,
You could also say it lead.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's meant to be the 50s. I think I saw that. So, which makes sense.
yeah.
It's because if he's
Yeah, I
writing
mean,
in
I mean,
the
the
85,
toys
he would've been
kinda
a kid
make
in the
sense
50s.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Also, he gets like one of those like frightening toys from the haunted discarded
right.
toy
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
as one of his gifts at the end of the movie. It's like a nutcracker looking pirate thing.
Oh yeah, well they are supposed to be refurbished or whatever.
Yeah, it's just
bicycling, as the conductor says.
If you go on the train, you get the refurbished toys. That doesn't seem fair.
you got to get the.
That doesn't seem right.
The upcycled ones.
He got a hand-me-down toy and a bell that only he can hear.
It's so sad that these toys are treated this way.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
The toys are actually the poor children who didn't believe they're turned into
get
toys.
Turned into toys. And
Yeah.
they're ground up. Yeah, that makes sense.
So since we are mentioning the car of the like discarded toys and the weird marionettes and stuff, that is the other hilarious pop-up for me, because there's the one like sexy barmaid marionette who is clearly supposed to be Robert Zemeckis' wife, who I think is also portrayed as like a sexy barmaid in Welcome to Marwen or something like that. Anyhow,
Yeah.
he's got a thing about throwing his wife in there in animation form.
Might not be his choice.
You think she's bullying her way in into $100 million
Tried
movies?
to get in Back to the Future, you know. She's like,
She went above his head and was like, "You got to put." I talked to the head of the studio. They said,
Yeah.
"You got to put me in there."
they said when you're married to someone, you get to be in their movies.
Those are the rules. Everyone knows.
They
that.
told me that.
They told me. Yeah, exactly.
It's
They
the
said,
Tim
you were
Burton
breaking
rule.
the rule.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's the Tim Burton rule for sure. Okay, let's see what the next note is.
Okay, I have a lot more questions. At the moment, we're about 29 minutes in now, and we've just met a second hobo, maybe the same hobo,
Can't tell.
It is the same hobo.
but two hobos on the top of the train. Now, here's
Really starting to think that's
here's
not
where
soup.
I'm having trouble.
It's G&G.
So, the book is short. The movie is long. When they decide that they're going to adapt the book into a movie, and also that they decide that they're going to make the movie look like the illustrations in the book. And
Which is a nice touch.
it's a nice touch. It's fine. It's fine.
A pro, maybe.
But you do have to obviously expand the story. And I want to know who said, okay, little girl's going to lose her ticket. Ticket is going to be trampled by wolves,
How do we see the wolves, people?
picked up by an eagle, eaten by baby eagle, shit out or spit back up by baby eagle.
They spat it out with like a lip sound of like, puh.
Puh.
I'm like, that can't
Creates
happen if you're a bird.
snowball downhill. Hits
Doesn't have
train.
lips. Yeah.
Ticket finds its way back to train after Tom Hanks has a fit about little girl not having ticket. And then little boy goes up on top of train and meets a hobo.
I will say once again, I do agree. I think that's a fun sequence. I did forget about the baby eagle going patoo.
Yeah, I did not think about that either.
Yeah.
It's probably the best moments in the movie, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. It's really as good as it gets. Never gets better than that.
But it is
Not really.
It is funny though
Peaks
too.
early.
Like if you do think about the like science of it, it is funny to think of like, yeah, what is this life cycle going on in like 1155? Like is the whole like, are we in a magical realm? Like, is none of this like real? Because like, yeah, like
Justin, nothing else is real but the train. If
train
the
life.
train graces you with light, you now exist.
Then that's it. That's it.
Those wolves, that eagle, none of that exists when the train is gone.
Life is on the train. The rest is just waiting.
The rest is just waiting.
Papa will on to say.
whoa.
You're fucking lucky to see the train.
It is crazy because you're so like the physics or the logic of it is wild. There's like time is stopped.
Yeah,
but these
I guess I didn't think about that
wolves and
either.
Eagles are flying and moving, and parents are sleeping in beds. But I guess it's like I guess it's all relativity, right? You know,
Sure.
theory of relativity, Einstein.
I go back to Allison. It must be moving at the speed of light.
Speed of light. But
And
like
these are
every
light speed wolves?
second, it's sort of like being on like like an interstellar when they're on that planet, and then they come off, and it's been like 20 minutes, but it's actually been like 40 years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Timothy Chalamet is Casey Affleck, something like that, right? Where it's like every second is like hours, and they get to be there all night, something to that effect.
Maybe.
That feels right.
Sure.
I mean, we cracked it.
Yeah, I think Christopher Nolan loves this movie.
Santa's got like
Got a lot of ideas from it, yeah.
gravity pull, something, relativity nonsense.
Yeah, and that's perfect science.
It's perfect sense. Don't look into it.
I also love, there's the moment where the ticket rolls down and becomes a giant snowball. That's
great.
But then, don't worry about it. Snowball dissipates.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't create an avalanche like it probably would in such a case.
And also kind of absurd that like a ticket which must weigh nothing
Right,
becomes
exactly.
a snowball?
It is.
How?
I mean, it's got so much momentum.
I guess.
Well, it's covered in eagle baby spit.
I mean,
Right, that gives it enough to
terminal
get
velocity is the same on the whole planet, bro, so it can't have that much weight.
You'd be surprised.
Okay.
You'd be surprised.
Sure.
It's an incredible sequence.
Okay.
Completely forgets about his friend who may or may not
Have been thrown from a train.
Yeah, currently being thrown from a train.
And so it's like, okay, what are we going to have him do when he gets to the top of the train?
Sock juice.
Drink sock juice from a hobo with a bindle.
Yeah.
And then said hobo will disappear.
Yeah.
But then another hobo, maybe the same hobo, will
Why do they
reappear
think
on
it's
skis.
different hobos?
Is he the same hobo? Not sure, because now no bindle, no apple box,
Sounds like
no lyre on his back. Like,
Oh my god.
My thing is that this train is merely a set of tests. Nothing makes sense in a real way. It's just, are you nice or are you naughty? Do you believe in ghosts?
yeah.
All right. Well, that's a great point.
That's actually a really good point, yeah.
But it actually isn't that. There are no tests. The tests, that would make more sense
Yeah.
if it was like,
Yeah.
you have to prove that you're good or whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
No.
He runs on a roof and jumps into coal, or
Yeah.
like, it's a bunch of random shit that doesn't
And
amount to anything.
Yeah, and you don't get punished because I'm pretty sure Eddie Deason opens his gift.
Right.
Right? Doesn't he imply he's like,
Yeah,
it's
he's
just
like-
a bunch of socks?
Yeah,
a
So
bunch
it's
of
like nothing
stupid
matters.
underwear or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's
so yeah,
what it is,
nice, not naughty. Doesn't
matter.
The test, the meter.
Yeah.
It's just you're on
Well,
a train.
actually,
Crazy stuff happens.
That's the hilarious thing that I wonder if is just like a note coming down is like, you can't say no one gets gifts, because like that's the thing is like the elves who we see later who are like watching at a control panel.
You mean
they,
in the war room?
right? They like see a kid put gum in his sister's hair and they're just like, all right, it's too close. He'll get his gift, but like we'll put him on the check twice list.
You're forgetting the
pretty
haunting,
good.
looping footage of the kid going, "It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me."
That
Fucking
was-
terrifying.
You're right.
Dude.
Yeah, that was
That's
bad.
terrifying.
That was not good. I didn't like
And
that.
also, they use real kids for
yes,
that.
that was a real face, right?
Yeah.
That was a real
because it
human
looked
face,
like
I
a
believe.
person.
yeah,
Yeah.
the video footage is real people. Yeah.
which is
An
like, what are we
insane
doing?
choice.
You could. No one thought, hey, let's just do more of that.
And make that the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was odd. Yeah, I don't know. It would make so much more sense. Well, it is very...
it would give purpose to the movie if they had to do tests.
Snowpiercer-ish, where like he ends up at the front of the train.
No, 100%. I was like, all this exterior stuff is like, this is Snowpiercer. Yeah.
I mean, which would, again, like if that was part of it, like they have to get to the front of the train and like they save Christmas or something. Like it doesn't, nothing happens.
No, they just kind of get there
nothing
easily.
Is of any consequence.
Yeah, and it's true. Like this kid would be toast if there was not a ghost hobo that was like, all right, I'll save you from like what's about to happen to this train.
Tunnel is about to, right.
Also, that's the thing that's funny too, like jumping ahead again, is like after all the shit happens to the train, like it goes through all these crazy tunnels, it goes across ice and like goes off the tracks and like I'm like, what's happening to the other kids? What are they thinking?
Well,
and then like Eddie Deasing comes in and is like, yeah, it was all just like an optical illusion. And it's just like
you didn't get
where were you
freaked
guys?
out?
It was super bumpy. And it was like, okay.
Yeah, someone let the children know what's going on, right?
Which is just, again, it's this crazy thing where there's no, like, there should be a fake out moment where the conductor's like, you almost killed us all. Yeah. You're not getting a gift this year. Never happens.
No.
It's like, oh, thanks, bud. You saved us again.
Anyways, got to get back to being weird.
Yeah, it's a movie where there's literally no threat that no one will get a gift.
Yeah. Which is like every Christmas movie, so I don't understand why this one they stopped.
There is the implication, like, that Billy, the poor boy, like, seems to be implying that he has yet to get a gift from Santa.
Yeah, he's had a pretty sad life from what I gleaned.
Yeah, Christmas doesn't go right for him.
So it's like, what's up with that, Santa?
Yeah,
like, why isn't he?
Where the fuck are you at, man?
Yeah, crickets from Santa, dude.
Santa found dead in ditch. Well, this is
Santa denying allegations.
Someone pointed out about other Christmas movies, and I'll apply it to this one as well. It's like I always love when parents in these types of movies. It's something I had thought as well, and I was like happy to see someone else verbalize it. Is like when parents in these movies where Santa is real. Like, where do they think the gifts that are from Santa come from? Because they know they didn't buy them, and they're under the tree in their house.
Well, when he's, he roofies them and
crazy.
Implants memories.
Is that what? Truly, in my mind, I was trying to come up with my own headcanon for this.
The sleigh ride is a twofold. He's dropping off gifts and incepting parents as well.
Being like, you bought this, you bought this.
Another inspiration for Christopher Nolan, obviously.
It would make perfect sense. Or like, is it a reflective tag that like shows that they think it's in their writing or something?
Sure.
Only the kids can see that it's from Santa. I don't know.
Yeah.
In that case, it also implies that as an adult, you then also shouldn't believe in Santa in that way. Like as a secret, you've grown up, you've lost the secret of Santa.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All better things that could have been in the movie. You know?
Yeah, no. Well, also, the other reason why you know it's the 50s is just the way everyone talks. Like, get us the blazers out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got like snappy patter.
Tom Hanks at the end is like, oh, sorry, sport.
All right, let's listen.
Do you believe in ghosts? That's like, then let's turn this into a movie about ghosts instead of
well, that's Christmas Carol.
Whatever this is.
This is the precursor to Snowpiercer.
Hey,
a much better movie.
They did it.
Anyway, why don't they just go down from the train, down the stairs that they used to get on top of it? They're like, oh, there's an inch before the tunnel.
Yeah, and there's an inch between. So instead of us flattening ourselves or getting off the top of the train,
like, we have to get to the hog.
I'm going to stand tall on skis and put you on my shoulders.
Yeah.
To make ourselves larger.
Yeah, because we'll get there in time. Just go.
Yeah, Ghost Hobo has skis.
And then you can go in the cars.
Go inside the train.
Unless, maybe we are fools. And we'll actually learn that you can't just go inside them.
Is the hobo locked out of the train based on past transgressions?
It's a real dangerous magical train.
We're about to see what happens in this tunnel, and I'm dying to know.
Woo!
Yeah, what is the ghost hobo?
I don't know.
He seems to want to encourage him to not believe, even though he's also riding a magic train.
Yeah, he's a pure agent of chaos.
He's kind of.
I don't really understand
he's
why
the Joker.
he's in the movie. Yeah, he is the clown prince.
Another Christopher Nolan reference.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wait, this next voice note is 7 seconds long, so I'm tempted to see. It might just be the answer to, let's see.
He was a ghost.
Ghost hobo.
He was a ghost the whole time.
Ghost hobo.
Oh, my God.
I would have liked if he like really photorealistically got Dennis Hopper at the end of Speed.
Oh yeah.
Whack. Yeah, I don't know the
Yeah.
hobo. The hobo doesn't. I don't know. I assumed on some level as like, is he sort of like a? I mean, obviously he's meant to be like a flip side of the coin of the conductor.
Yeah.
But is he like also like?
But why does the train tolerate him? Why does the movie need him?
The movie doesn't need him. You really do not need him at all.
Yeah.
Like, you could extract him from the movie and you'd miss basically
You
nothing.
could extract most of the movie.
Does he
and
come
not
back
miss
on the
it.
ride home at all? I don't
At
remember.
the very end, he's on the top when the train's going away, and then he
Okay.
waves, and then like ghost
Yeah.
force disappears, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
As far as I remember, yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I
but
really
he's
don't.
trying to get him to not believe, or maybe he's testing him, sort of. But he's also like weirdly just helping him out all the time. It's like, what's your angle, Ghost Hobo?
And again, I don't understand why this one kid needs help and needs to experience all of this stuff. It's very strange, like why this is all happening to this kid.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know.
that kid.
Other than he's
Ronald
just
Reagan.
the main character, I guess. Yeah, he
That
grows-
kid grew up to be.
Yeah,
Oh, if there was a Sandlot like
RFK
ending to
Jr.
what happens to these kids.
it'd be amazing. That would be amazing.
Billy
love
dies
that.
in Vietnam.
Billy,
I love that. Okay, let's see what then the next voice note is. It is
know-it-all
only
steals home in a Brooklyn Dodgers.
No, it all becomes Elon Musk.
Yeah. There is like a weird. Again, you can tell this book was written in the '80s. Like I do feel like there's a weird sort of like capitalist.
Yeah.
There's like the boom times in America feeling to it all.
Yeah.
And even then, they're like, you know what was really great though? The '50s. That's how you know.
Well,
that's when the chocolate was
people.
hot.
That's when the chocolate was hot,
and we would never let it cool.
Piping hot.
melted chocolate bars.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right, let's see. This next one's only 35 seconds.
I hope this train sinks into this ice river wherever they are. This
This is the best part.
This is a roller coaster, and I guess that is literal because they were on a fucking roller coaster. And now they're going to get stuck in this ice, and Ghost Hobo, aka Gobo, is is saving them from tipping over into the ice. I don't know what's happening.
They're going. This rips. This is the best part of the whole movie so far.
again, they are not eating soup. They
I was
are,
gonna
they are
say-
drunk. They are drunk, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's gotta be. Yeah, there's something in that soup. Yeah.
Well, again, grass and gazpacho.
I like Gobo. I can't believe
Gobo
we
was
didn't think
good.
of that.
Gobo's
pretty
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
GHOBO.
What do you,
GHOBO.
what do you take on the hillbilly conductors that are like, oh no, we lost the pin that's gonna stop the break.
I could not make heads or tails of any of that.
I know that one of them was Michael Jeter, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Love Michael Jeter.
As do I, but like, what are those dudes, man?
I don't know.
Well, and they're like changing a light bulb, which is a great moment.
Yeah.
Oh, on the front of the train,
On the front
right?
of the train, they're changing a light bulb, which is why the girls in the coal. And then that's when they almost like, it must be 10 million caribou.
And they have to pull his hair
Yeah,
so
to talk to the
communicate
caribou.
with the caribou. And I was like, dude, what is this?
I think even as
It's
a kid, I
so
remember being
weird.
like, I don't like this.
Yeah. Because it's weird and it goes on way too
Goes
long.
for a long time. Well, and also, the question begs the question: what do these guys think they're doing? What they're like?
know.
We're just conductors on a train full of children.
Yep.
We go on there.
We never ask questions.
It's like you would think like if they're magic guys or whatever. I don't know. It's just a crazy like. There's,
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
Santa
Why not make
hires-
them Tom Hanks as well?
Oh, right,
Why are
exactly.
they the only weird adults that aren't Tom Hanks?
who like
Are they
Santa-
trapped? Are they the children that never got off the
that
train?
could be,
Like, who
yeah.
are they, dude?
Why does Santa?
Is that why they're
hire
crazy?
Such incompetent labor.
Yes.
Why does he trust?
Well, because he keeps the real ones at home.
I
His
guess
army
that's
of
it, yeah.
elves.
And he's like, oh, these
are
guys
fully
go.
trained.
It makes no sense to me where he's like, oh, they're only in charge of a train full of hundreds
Well,
of
obviously,
child's lives.
the only thought was to, I don't know, kids might think it's funny.
Yeah, I
that
mean,
was truly the only
that's
thought.
it.
But
I mean,
like,
they're looking for
it's-
comedic. They kind of have Laurel
Yeah.
and Hardy energy
Yeah.
kind
But
of thing.
also the thing is, because of the computer technology, they make them so grotesque.
Yeah.
Like it gets so close on them, their face contorts in such gross ways that I'm like, do kids even enjoy them being
I don't know.
like, yeah.
Well, yeah, like super long beard and hair and all that. Oh, yeah, it's not good. I don't know.
And then like, yeah, when they're like fumbling around for the pin that's like the key to them, is it the throttle or is it the brake or it's for
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
but
yeah.
like but like it goes in slow mo, and then you see their face contorting, and it's
but also
awful.
That ends with a reverse Tom Hanks conductor reveal, where he has a full head of hair when he gets the pin that they.
That guy has like a super long Fabio sort of red hair.
And he's like, oh, yeah, I got a pin right here.
locks.
That sequence did need to happen.
Yeah, I could have just
Crazy.
done this.
It's crazy how the movie undercuts itself every scene.
The engineer guy who is it Michael Jeter or is Michael Jeter the other guy? I also don't know who does the other voice. I just recognize Michael Jeter's voice, but
So also I just had the thought that what if the conductor is actually Sully? And at the end of the movie, he's like 155 souls.
Yeah. Did it.
He like checks them off at the end.
Nailed it.
All souls saved. You know, anyways. Oh, do you think there's like sorry.
we're expanding the universe. I can see we're expanding the universe.
There should be a framing device where he has to like justify his actions on the train. Like, did you actually think landing on the Hudson was the right idea, conductor?
Maybe that's what Flight was. Is he's like, I gotta think about these
things.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
It's all the questions from this movie.
Did he do the right thing? Did you have to roll it? Yeah.
The hillbillies are making moonshine, drinking moonshine.
Right?
Yeah.
They come in and have to testify in front of a council of elves run by Santa, and they're like, "Dung, dung, dung." So why didn't you have a backup pin? Well, I found the one in my hair. Like, and you know what? The conductor acted nobly. It was the right thing to do. If you had any choice, it could end on the same kill line as Sully, which is like, if you'd have done anything differently, how would you have done it? Next time I wouldn't do it in January. Hey. Okay, anyways, well, that's my Sully Polar Express crossover movie. I'm pitching that around town, actually.
I hope it works out for
a lot
you,
of interest in this mocap Sully.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what the next note is. This is 15 seconds.
The ice is covering the tracks.
The ice is covering the
tracks.
The ice is
Covering the tracks. The ice has frozen over the tracks.
Okay.
Again, they are drunk,
They are
right?
so drunk.
We lost them at that point.
Clearly drunk. All right, let's see the next one.
Okay, so we're in the carriage of misfit toys, and
Wait, so what was the lead up to that? So obviously it was after the crash on the ice crash.
Oh,
He's like following them through, right?
he's walking them back to the main cabin, right?
Oh, right, because they relocate the ticket again. He's like, okay, great.
Yeah.
So now you're both legit. You can both go back to the cabin with Eddie Deason, who's been fucking living it up this whole time like a real asshole.
Having a great time. Again, a ticket that magically appears in her pocket that only you know to give her. And yet, she lost her ticket. Right?
Hey, man, he hates it, but he's a sticker.
He's got to do the job, you know?
He gives you the ticket, but what you do with it is up to you.
Ticket, that's on you.
Yeah, it's on you,
your
man.
Seat. Good luck.
Good luck.
Okay, let's see this.
You'll never get home.
when the Scrooge puppets like at this boy, I think you could definitely do a Freudian analysis of this film. It's strange how so many of the characters share this little boy's father's voice. It's everywhere. Tom Hanks plays everyone, So I think he's got daddy issues. I think this kid's got daddy issues. Father Christmas, the Father Christmas of it all. The train as phallus. He's looking at this like sexy marionette doll in this carriage.
Yes.
The like caverns and caves that this train is chugging through. It is. There's a lot going on here, and I'm worried about it.
I don't think enough people are talking about it.
Yeah, we need to start talking about the phallic nature of the Polar Express and what it means to cast doubt within yourself and how it's all your dad's fault.
Wow. Allison makes a great inebriated point.
Yeah, I have nothing else to add to that. I think it's perfect.
It's pretty good. Also, Father Time.
Father
I missed that
Time.
one.
I mean, honestly, it is like
great notes.
it is his dad's voice ringing in his ears as he goes to sleep. The magic is gone.
And, we don't hear him. We don't see him often, but it seems like maybe a bit of a tough dad.
Seems like he could be a tough dad.
Bit of a tough dad.
Yeah, I thought it was a deleted scene where he beat him with a belt.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not.
You're
like
going to believe in Christmas.
You're not like my favorite kid. My favorite kid here loves to play.
She believes no problem.
She's a big believer.
Get with the program, unnamed son.
Yeah.
Son number 1.
Yeah, he's just waiting to see if he earns the right to be a junior.
name.
Yeah. He's like, look, I'm not going to just give it to you.
Yeah, you got to earn junior.
So wait, do you think cause since he doesn't have a name in the book, do you think it would have been just on the nose if in the movie they just called him Chris? Like,
oh yeah,
to be like Chris Van Allsburg, the writer, just like
yeah, honestly,
Because it's a true story.
yeah,
it's a true story.
Yeah.
It's a true story.
I think that's
I thought you were
the
gonna
right
say-
thing. They should have done that.
I really thought you were going to say Tom. They're like, oh, it would be on the nose if it's Tom, but it's Tom Hanks talking to Tom.
I also thought you were going to say Tom. Yeah.
but Chris would also, I guess the only thing with Chris is like Chris Kringle.
Yeah.
Like, are they that, maybe that's too close.
But
Yeah.
but then again, nothing else makes sense. So
no, man, why should that?
why not? Yeah. Why not? Who cares?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
No rules.
Nothing matters in this
Once
movie.
you're on this train, there are no rules anymore.
There are no. It is a train without consequence.
Yeah. Do
No
you get
rules.
back? I don't know.
And
Where's it go? I don't know.
I can't tell.
out of the chance that I might be cutting them out at the knees on their next note, but like the thing about time on this train, like literally when they arrive in the North Pole, and I've seen this movie before, I'm like, great, we're in like the last 20 minutes. I literally pause it. I'm like, oh shit, we're at the halfway point.
Yeah.
We got like 45 more minutes of bullshit in the elf village.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So long.
How can that happen?
Again, it could have been a ride at Universal, man.
Completely. If this was a 10-minute
Or a
ride,
short film in front of I'd put it in front of a Pixar movie or something.
would
I
be
don't
great
know,
too.
man.
Absolutely.
Would have been fine. Would have been
If
perfect.
this was a 5-minute ride at Universal, you'd be like, that was awesome. I had a great time. They whipped us around. I got fucking whiplash. I wanted to throw up because the animation was so unsettling. I needed to take 20 minutes off and go get some water and splash some face.
Yeah.
I just realized, did I mention how put off I was like by the bloodshot eyes of our main character being the first thing you see? Like he just like wakes up from, and it's his eyes like look like he's been on a bender.
Yeah. But also lifeless.
He maybe, we don't know. Maybe
Moist and lifeless eyes.
Yeah, I mean everybody's got lifeless eyes, like
Sure.
a doll's eyes,
Like a doll's eyes.
like a doll's eyes.
You mean like Bobby's friend Steve's movie?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what this is.
About 35 minutes has passed since the first part of our review here, and we just got to the North Pole and we saw the clock tower. It is still 11:55. So 30 minutes of time has passed. However, it's still 11:55.
Yes.
Why
Why is this guy so concerned with keeping time?
keeping time, and no time has passed yet. All the time has passed. So many things have taken place.
What would Freud say?
What would he say?
No, what's a scream at the end?
Oh wait. No, that's the next note. All right.
Oh, okay.
I'll just play it.
Who died? Are we going to uncover a murder?
All right. Here comes the scream.
Natalie, he's bald! He's bald!
Perfectly executed. I think Natalie took that note of Allison screaming, he's bald!
Yeah. One of the movie's best jokes.
It
man.
is really incredible. I never saw it coming.
Because there's no reason for it.
No. Do we think the hobo has like luscious locks? Do we think he's
Yeah.
got really good hair?
Yeah. Maybe the hobo is a phantom future version of him. If he doesn't believe in Christmas, like Santa's like really like, hey, this is what happens.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you don't believe,
You
buddy.
become a hobo on my train.
Become a hobo on my train. You never leave.
that I only allow a select few on.
Yeah. You should be thankful to be
My
on Santa's
favorites
train.
who are also maybe not believing anymore, but maybe they will. I don't know. There's really
And I'm going to seed
Plus one.
I'm going to
child.
seed one child that actually believes to get the others in line.
she's going to be led.
She's working for me. Maybe she does work
One-
for him.
one-
Maybe she works for him. She's
that
an
would have been
insider.
great if her ticket was like insider mole.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't talk about, but there's like this whole bit of business, like where he's like, show me a ticket, and he like brings out the hole punch, and he like puts 2 letters on everyone's, and like on our kid he's like BE, and on the hero girl it's LE, and on which one is it for?
It's also LE for Deason because it's learn.
Learn, and he puts a thumb over it and he goes, lean. What does lean mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a good bit. Okay. But then some of them change, right? Like if you flip the ticket, it like.
Well, I think for Billy, because I genuinely think that it was because he got a long word, and they're like, he flips it and it's like, oh, that's the synonym. Okay,
right. Yeah,
that's the easier word for.
Actually, wow, that's a really sad. That's such a funny point, though. It's like, it's a long
the ticket
word.
forgot that Billy is poor and can't. Doesn't know big words.
Keep flipping. Get to like a 3-letter one he understands. There we go. We got it. There we go. Yikes.
All right, we got another like 7-second gold one here. Let's see.
You know what a great medium is? The short film. It exists. It's got a time limit, like the length of a children's book.
Also, I'm gonna need you to replay that because that started with a really loud meow. Just good at hear it.
Okay.
You know what a
yeah, it does.
Cat's also not enjoying the picture. Yeah, short film is exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because hold on, I took notes of like all the crap that happens once they're in the Santa's village.
Or give me a solid hour of that kid that day of Christmas getting bullied because he still kind of believes, but he maybe doesn't. I don't know. Not an hour, obviously, but
it's 10 minutes.
10 minutes, right?
Again, it is funny.
But it's an all-in-one-night movie, which I do kind of like.
I always
but
appreciate
like,
that.
I don't know,
For
way
sure.
too long.
It's way too long with like, again, nothing of consequence happening.
Yeah.
So let me break down the things that I wrote. So they're in the. Like, they get to the elf village. Everyone's getting out. But for some reason, they're slow going. Oh, because, like, the poor kid doesn't want to get out. And then somehow
what a drag this kid is.
Our clumsy hero, our clumsy hero, like, knocks the thing to uncouple the car that they're in. And so then it starts sliding down this hill with another roller coaster.
That is a true roller coaster moment, yeah.
Straight out of, like, Temple of Doom or something. And like then they end up in this weird switching station where they have to like cross over a dangerous Star Wars cavern that's just like bright light that looks like where Darth Vader and Luke have their like battle.
It looks like where Allan turns off the laser beam or whatever in the Death Star kind of thing as well. Like there's just could drop forever. Yeah, anyway,
exactly. And they have to cross over that. In this like should be not that dramatic kids movie. Like
again, these kids could all have died 50 times. Yeah. Like it's crazy.
Okay, there's like this thing where they like walk past. Like it looks like the Muzak shop where basically there's all these record players that are playing all the Christmas music you hear in the North Pole. That's like because like every room you're in is playing some Christmas song, and that this is like the record player. But also, like, one of the records is skipping.
It gets stuck.
Hey, man, sometimes you stumble in a Guantanamo Bay, you know? You shouldn't have got on that train.
Again, real creepy. Like, a real, like, unsettling, like White Christmas, White Christmas, White Christmas, White Christmas. Like, this is, keep slowing it down. It's a horror movie. It's exactly what happens.
Our hero can't hear it, but hero girl hears the sound of a sleigh bell. And it's like, okay, let's go that direction. He's like, direction of what?
Yeah.
I'm a disbeliever. I don't know what.
Maybe we're all just about to be killed by a psycho. There's maybe not a Santa up here. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's where they find all the Mel Brooks elves at the like control center that are like, Morty, take a look at the kid in Teaneck, New Jersey. See what he's up to.
And they all look like Dick Miller. Like
yeah.
The hell, man.
But thankfully, the Mel Brookses are like, we're gonna take the pneumatic to the square. It's the fastest way to get there before the ceremony. So then they take the pneumatic to the square.
Yeah.
But
also a lot of time constraint stuff. But there is no time.
No, time is not an issue. Right.
Constraint.
That's kind of,
what is this? What is the constraint?
It's really, again, truly a question of like, what is the opposite of a ticking clock?
Yeah.
Where it's like, we're on a really tight schedule, but yes, Santa has the power to stop time, so there is no ticking clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. They get out, but they don't know where to go, so they wind up following some arrows that leads them to like a factory that they end up going down like swirling slides inside this factory. They end up on the mountain of toys that's headed to Santa's bag. The whole time, I made a note, the whole time there's the soaring Silvestri music where he seems to be doing When You Wish Upon a Star, but not quite. Like he's doing sound alike. Like it makes me wonder if the temp music was When You Wish Upon a Star. And he's like, really? You want me to make it sound like that? All right, I'll do my best.
I can do it.
Which also tip off for Zemeckis' Pinocchio, but anyhow.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing is like I do love the soaring Silvestri, but so much is like this is just sort of When You Wish Upon a Star, dude.
It's all very familiar sounding, and then also lining up to nothing. Where it's like it's soaring, and it's like, well, so they're in a blimp or something. Like, what the fuck am I looking at?
I also made a note making a further Bong Joon-ho reference. I was like, the factory kind of feels like Okja, like the end of Okja when they go to the factory to see them slaughtered. So they end up in like some weird like floating, not like an airship, but some sort of.
It's the gift bag, right?
Right. They're delivering.
They're in the bag, but the bag is being airlifted by like a weird droney, balloony kind of thing that like literally is
like
balloons.
Shoots rockets out too before it
launches.
launches.
Shoots rockets in and goes up. Yeah, that's
and at
right.
first I thought the gifts were going to be rocketed out of the hole, and I was like, are these kids about to be shot into someone's home?
That would have been awesome.
Crazy.
That'd have been sick.
Yeah, but I was like, oh no, that's just like the primer for the lift. I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah. And that's where they discovered Deason in the bag because Deason separately was like ran off to see if he could find. But also considering the long roller coaster ride it took them to get to the factory, how did he get to the bag so fast?
There.
Anyhow,
well, we
Time
need,
has no
we need
meaning.
Deason's side story.
Yeah, we need.
Yeah, he kind of has like no story, but he gets a conclusion on his ticket. Like we've been with him the whole time.
Completely.
Yeah, we need the comic book, like the side quest comic book that tells that story.
His whole version. It's
that like explains why C-3PO's arm is red and why Eddie Deason is in the bag when they get there.
Yeah, give me 3 movies.
And then like
walk me through it. You know,
the balloon to like let them down. They like literally like a when you blow up air in a balloon and it's making little fart noises like.
Oh, I know. Crazy.
They're not going to make it. And this is a moment that I was like, this is truly insane, is that there are elves on the balloon apparently acting as like human ballasts. Yeah. And they're like, you got to jump. And all these elves look like they're going to plummet to their death in honor of Santa.
I know.
Like,
it does look like they're sacrificing. I mean, one says Geronimo. And I was like,
I'm gone. That's it. I always knew it would happen like this.
Well,
me
and also,
jumping off an airship.
It doesn't. They have like parachutes, but it also doesn't totally work because they end up knocking the giant tree or the giant star off the giant tree. It comes down like threatening to kill many, but literally hits one elf in the nose. Like it comes so close to piercing his brain.
It bonks him. He was never in danger.
He was
not on Santa's watch. He was never in real danger.
But thankfully, the air elves were there to keep it from
the specially trained ones.
Right. When the conductor Tom Hanks going, "Don't worry, the specially trained elves."
Yeah, don't do this at home. And it's
right,
like that's the one thing they shouldn't do at home.
Yeah, right, exactly.
What about all the other shit?
Which I was also like, boy, was that like a Tom Hanks Band of Brothers thing? Like, what if these elves parachute in like the boys of Easy Company?
That's right.
Over Belgium.
Love my boys, the Easy Company.
Yeah, they're the best.
This must have been like the whole interaction about like Billy finding his present and then the one elf being like, give it back. I just made a note. The poor kid gives me Jake Lloyd in Phantom Menace vibes.
Oh, yeah, he kind of does.
Poor kid.
They do he is kind of modeled on that. He's got the same sort of hair. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. Our dude can't hear the bells, feels bad, crowds of elves singing Santa Claus is coming to town in the most horrifying way.
Yeah.
Which then turns into the Sinatra Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which then slows down.
Every time music slows down in this movie, it's not cool.
It's horrifying.
It's not cool at
real
all.
bad.
Even in the moment where he's like focusing on the bell, I was like, I think this is supposed to be a happy moment, but like the music is slowed and I don't know what to think. This is weird. Does he not want the bell? Is Santa about to like unravel because the bell fell off? Like it's like, what's happening, dude?
Oh, right. That's why it slows down. It's because the bell falls off.
And Santa's like, oh fuck, give me my bell back. Yeah, crazy.
Oh, I made a note. To me, Santa, because clearly they didn't want everyone to look exactly like Tom Hanks. Santa looked to me a little bit like David Thewlis or actually Alan Rickman, and I was like, "Is this a Hans Gruber homage from some weird?"
I could
CG?
see Thewlis.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know about Rickman. I see Thewlis though.
Yeah. I also put when he declared, like when he brings the kid on the sleigh, and he's like, "What do you want your gift to be? You get to be the first gift kid." He's like, "I want to get the bell from your sleigh." And then he's like, "First gift of Christmas." It's such a pullback. It's like, in case you didn't see the whole village again. Yeah. We're going to pull all the way.
There's thousands.
Yeah. And
It's
elves,
like the triumph of the will.
Yeah. The elves go yippee. They do the Mary Tyler Moore and throw their hat in the air.
Yeah. Also,
and then
what the fuck did Billy get, dude?
Yeah, I don't know.
What did he get, man?
And then Aerosmith
He's so
comes out.
excited. Oh, that's right. I forgot about.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was like, not only he was like, yeah, I'll do a song for you. He's like, but you know what? Put me in there.
Actually,
put me in there.
me in the movie.
Make me one of the elves.
Make me an elf.
Make me an elf.
Oh, I just realized they've been talking. I wonder what their next note is. Hold on a sec. They got 90 seconds and then final thoughts. So let me see what this 90-second one is.
Is every man who works or resides at the North Pole bald?
They're all bald.
Except for Steven Tyler? Question mark.
Girl elves.
Girl elves might also be bald. Couldn't tell.
Are there girl elves?
Yeah, they're dancing.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah, this is
Honestly,
definitely
couldn't
a
tell.
horror movie.
Couldn't tell.
Santa Claus is coming. You know, like the slow motion of it.
Yeah.
And then again, very Freudian.
Yeah.
Light that tree on
Phallus.
fire. You know, the fireworks going over the crowd. Why are these children here? Why do they only get one special present? If Santa knows everything, and he sees you when you're sleeping, and he knows when you're awake, and he knows if you're nice or naughty, he can pick one kid to come.
Also, we're like 98% convinced that Billy the sad kid has a prosthetic arm.
Yeah, his arm is so stiff, and I'm worried about him. He always his right arm does not move.
It doesn't move the same way as the other ones, and he wouldn't let go of that present.
Yeah.
He said he couldn't give them his other hand. We were waiting on the fucking edge of our seats for them to rip his arm off.
Yeah, be like, oh no, that's why.
Oh no, we're
Not only am I poor and dirty,
I only have one arm.
Poor.
That makes as much sense as anything.
I think it's just bad animation, but that is a really
That's a great take.
absurdly funny take.
I love it.
All right, cool. So
He probably lost it in working in the factory in the 1950s.
He has to get back to work. Man.
Yeah, exactly. He was building planes in World War II and lost it in the riveting machine, probably.
Justice for Billy, man.
So then after the
So his gift is a new arm.
Yeah,
he
they
said
give
he
him a
wanted his
new
whole life.
arm.
It's
Yeah.
it's a better working arm.
That's true.
we figured it out.
Yeah, so he can get back to the thresher in the fields.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He seems to be like maybe in the rural part of the world. I don't know.
Well, they literally say he's on the wrong side of the tracks or whatever,
Yeah. Oh.
or the other side of the
Yeah,
track, or
we're
whatever.
going to the other side of the tracks.
Yeah, so after the elf Christmas party where they're clearly cutting a rug to Aerosmith and probably getting it on off camera, then the conductor punches the hole in the rest of the ticket, which we've already discussed. So the LE the LE for Eddie Deason becomes Learn. The LE for Hero Girl becomes Lead. The BE for our hero guy becomes Believe.
Believe, yeah.
And I forget what Billy's is. It's like, don't be poor.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
The DO becomes, don't be poor.
It basically, it's
something about
belong,
Or it's like
something
about
about
trusting others.
trusting, joining something.
That's so sad. We forgot Billy's.
Poor Billy.
Depend on others.
Depend. That might have been it. Yeah,
I
depend.
know
on.
depending was one of them, but it's
Yeah.
like,
Sounds right, maybe.
but it's like,
I don't know.
what do you mean? Like, depend on what?
You're gonna have to
What are you
depend on other
implying?
people,
It's an
Billy, because
amazing-
you're not gonna get it done yourself, man.
Well, it's an amazing moment where they're like, "Hey, this was all their journeys," and you're like, "It was."
Right, right.
Because most of these kids just sat in the train and
Did fucking
didn't
jack
do
shit.
Yeah.
They didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And the one girl led the whole time. She didn't need you to tell her to lead. She was
Yeah.
already doing it.
Exactly.
It's fucking bizarre.
Yeah, crazy.
Anyways, ugh.
And he's like, I think you'll find you learned something on this trip, huh? And he's like, I don't know, did we?
It's that Eddie Deason beat is insane. Lean?
Yeah.
What's lean? And he was like, it's 5 letters. And he was like,
Oh.
okay, I see.
Yeah.
It's like, this kid's
Looks like
learned
you
enough.
already
Yeah.
have learned. I
Take
see.
it's like,
it
did he?
easy. Yeah. Well, yeah. All right.
So if they don't acknowledge that they learned, do they not get to go back on the train?
Yeah, they're like, we're going to leave your ass here,
Yeah,
kid.
until you figure it out.
These, there must be a huge fatality rate on these trains.
Big time.
Anyhow, we talked about the thing. He loses the bell because of the hole in his pocket. He's like, dang it. But the next morning it turns out Santa's like, I found this on the seat of my sled. Fix your hole, dumbass.
Mr. C.
But also, yeah, like when they get back on the train before he's all mopey faced, is the classic line, it doesn't matter where trains are going. It matters to decide to get on, or what I did paraphrase it in my note,
Yeah.
but like
Insane.
It doesn't matter because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. That's the choice of getting on.
but it is also funny. It's like if you get on a train and go the wrong way, like it does matter.
That did matter a lot. In fact, yeah.
you know.
You want to make sure you're getting on a train that's going where you want to go.
Yeah.
That's Trains 101.
Yeah.
Ideologically and just geographically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sort of the worst advice you can give a kid.
Hey, you ever see a train? Get on it. Don't
Get
tell
on
your
it, dude.
parents. Run.
Don't do it.
Yeah. They said they got hot chocolate. I decided to get out there.
Man, I wonder, is there like a generation of kids who are, or now adults who are like obsessed with trains because of this movie? Do we think that's possible?
Maybe. I
don't
You know how many
know.
people are like obsessed with trains?
There's
I feel
a
like
lot.
a lot of people are in trains.
So the coworker of ours, I won't say her name, like said that she watched this when she was a kid. Like she was the right age to be a kid when this movie came out. And she said it was scary, and especially the marionettes in the like discarded toys car horrified her. But like it was scary. I feel like more people might have been like traumatized from trains because of this movie.
Bears.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like when a bunch of guys come out singing hot, hot, chocolate, maybe
Bro.
you're like, trains are awesome.
And they're just like flipping over the chairs.
Flipping and dancing, the seats
And
move.
each spout pours into 3 glasses at once.
Cool
and I was
as hell,
like,
man.
what is this?
Let's get our friends' final thoughts, and then let's give our final readings and thoughts. Here we go.
All right. Final thoughts.
Yeah. Bad.
Deep.
Bad. Not.
Not a great book to start.
Yeah. Book is better than the movie? Question mark. Barely.
Yeah, high standards.
High standards.
I would say that this is a post-industrial Freudian nightmare of a movie that children should not watch.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, it's I'm just glad it was short. Even though
It was
only
long.
5 minutes passed
Yeah.
in this grand scheme of things, it was still an hour and 40 minutes that
Did we get all of our
I did it.
questions answered?
I'm
guessing frozen land bridge to the North Pole.
yeah, most of them answered, but I will not stay up thinking about it. I will have nightmares about the visuals, but
Yeah.
I won't.
When they're drinking hot chocolate, it looks.
Oh
like
yeah, they
they're-
look like poops.
They're like shooting poopies into their cups, and it's horrible.
They're shooting poopies. They get the poopies. They really like. There's a velocity to the poopies as they exit the
the like,
teacups that they're or the
The-
teapots that they're
yeah.
coming out of. They're not even in Cambros. They're in teapots. and
Boobies.
shooting poopies, and all those waiters had the same face,
Yeah.
and I didn't like that.
Yeah. It's very cultish. It's very
Yes.
much like welcome to our cult. If you don't believe,
If you don't drink the hot chocolate while it's scalding hot, don't let it cool.
yeah.
If you don't believe
my
in
God.
Santa, I will punch your ticket different.
Don't drink the hot chocolate.
Don't drink the hot chocolate,
You know what I mean?
or you might turn into a hobo.
Or one of the elves wearing a Santa outfit
Or a Napoleon hat.
or a Napoleon hat.
Using a candy cane as like a
Yeah.
gun. No. No.
Wow, what a perfect note to end on. Thanks so much.
Just that clip beginning with the longest sigh I've
Yeah.
ever heard in my entire life.
Pretty good.
Is really sums everything up.
Pretty good. Shooting poopies is pretty good, too. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
shooting boobies.
Shooting poopies.
Yeah, what can you say about one of our greatest films, you know?
I mean, it's probably better than the one Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey.
I haven't seen that one either.
I think I saw that one, but I might have wiped it from my memory. But I
Yeah.
remember it being worse.
But
Interesting.
it probably has more plot to work
I mean, there's
off
definitely
of,
more
so-
plot, but like it's so much more disturbing. I think
Yeah. I don't know, man. This is pretty disturbing.
it's pretty disturbing.
Like throughout.
It's not good.
Consistently disturbing.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the book is, kind of with the book is better. It's simpler. It's way more open, obviously, because it's a fucking book, a kid's
Well,
book.
and also like expectations. Like it's supposed to just be like a simple story, and like
it has a simple through line of the bell being like childhood innocence,
Belief. Yeah.
belief,
Exactly. Yeah.
whatever.
The magic of Christmas.
Yeah.
But then inflating that to an hour 45 or an hour 40
Yeah.
rather.
Once you add a couple, 5, 6, 7, 8 Tom Hanks, things get a little more
Things
complex.
get out of hand.
Yeah.
It actually, now that we've really talked about it and gotten into some of the like logic loopholes or the things they don't do, it is like a true failure of adaptation where it's like, because whatever, it's 12, it's like 30 pages of book with like 12 paragraphs in it, and it's you could really have done whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
And the fact that
It shouldn't have been this.
Yeah, this was the wrong way to go. Which is like the visuals when they work and there's nobody on screen are impressive at times. Again, like the whole train on the ice thing is pretty
Yeah.
good. Like walking through, and there's stuff that works in it, like roller coastery style.
Yeah, but that's the thing is it feels like the kid doesn't have to be Indiana Jones or whatever. Like it doesn't have to be death defying. Everything
No.
doesn't have to be that level of stakes. Like it could be you could add a flavor of adventure, sure, but like it just is too much that like they're going to die all the time.
They're
Like,
all going to die all the time, and it overwhelms.
But really just those three
everything.
kids.
Yeah, right. Just well,
Or really just the two for the most part.
the two. But I guess
And
in
then
theory
Billy
they
eventually.
could get everyone killed.
Yeah.
by driving
Through
them on
their
the ice.
actions, they
Yeah,
could-
that would lead to the deaths
Yeah.
of 100 children's souls.
Death to Santa's chosen.
Yeah, except his special children.
Special children.
I just feel like there had to be a story in there about the way that, like, again, become like doing good things, being presented a series of tests, proving you believe, proving you're good, whatever. There had to be something. Again,
Right.
going international. That would you get some little French kids running around. You get
Yeah.
some
Smoking
Japanese kids
cigarettes.
running around. That would be awesome. Like
Yeah.
there's so much they could have done, and it's all instead just like, what if it's a roller coaster?
Yeah.
What if this makes you physically ill? But yeah, the book's better.
Yeah. There's no other way around it. Yeah.
It's just a failure of adaptation.
Yeah, I mean the book.
Wild.
If we're talking quality, the book is better. If we're talking about the like, I need a like what the fuck bad movie night pick. Like, Polar Express is a pretty solid. Just because there's so many choices that you're like, why, followed by why, followed by why.
Yeah.
So they have different purposes. If you want like a heartwarming holiday classic, Polar Express is closer to that thing that you want, or they're both called that. The book is closer to that thing that you want, but the movie, that's a different thing. Either you were a child and for some reason it's in your gray matter and you're like, okay, this means something to me, or alternatively,
a disturbed adult now.
Yeah.
As a result of that.
deeply unhinged person.
Yeah.
Just like walking up to every bell and being like, I can hear it. I can hear it.
They're all Santa's bells to me.
Constantly saying 5 minutes to midnight.
And again, like the book, right? Exactly. The book is better while also being inherently flawed in that.
It's not
an
great,
insane
but,
story to tell. That like one little boy, or like I don't know. It flies in the face of so much of the Santa story. But whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I would never watch this again. I think, unless it was with people who had not seen it.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I don't know if I would revisit this like with people that have already seen it. I would have to see this through someone's fresh confusion.
Yeah, I mean, I'd watch it with some people who've seen it. And new people.
I think it would be mostly new people, though. That would make it worth it,
to see their reactions. Yeah, for sure.
Great. Well, this has been a truly wonderful discussion, I think. Thanks for hanging out for another year of Better Than the Movie. It's crazy that we've been here for another calendar year. This is insane. Right now, we're talking to some folks. Hopefully, we'll have some good return guests and new guests lined up for you in 2025. Hopefully, we'll get Buzzy Cone back. Probably get my buddy Garen back to talk some horror and horrify Tyler and some other goodies. So, thanks for hanging out. Have a wonderful holiday season, and bye.
Get on every train.
Hot.
Chocolate!
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Skylight Books podcast series. We hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to check out the book featured in this episode, or others, please visit skylightbooks.com. If you're in the Los Angeles area, stop by for one of our live in-person author events. You can find a calendar on our website. If you like this podcast, leave us a review. It really helps us out. Our music is by Duck the Piano Wire. Till next time.
Fucking insane movie, dude. Insane movie.
Get on every train. That's good advice.